Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Mr. Ngiam Shi Chun, Chief Executive, Energy Market Authority of Singapore, up on stage, and this time for his closing remarks. Mr. Ngiam, please.
Excellencies, Deputy Director General Gauri Singh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending this very first inaugural Singapore-IRENA forum. I'm really very encouraged by the degree and the level of discussions that we had today. There was a lot of consensus, I think, and a lot of alignment in terms of the direction that we should be headed towards. I think one thing's clear, it's going to be a government as well as industry and public relationship and collaboration in order to get this transition done, in order to advance this transition. We heard how critical financing is. We heard how the policymakers need to be open to different ideas in terms of how we should finance, how we can enable this energy transition towards a low-carbon future. And I think today's high-level forum is also a recognition of the challenges that we face going forward. We heard that from various speakers today. But at the same time, we've also heard about all the opportunities there are for us to transform the grid, for us to transform the energy sector. It creates more business opportunities for the private sector, as well as for policymakers to set new directions and to change the energy landscape. And this is especially important for ASEAN, where we have announced very ambitious targets for renewable energy under the ASEAN Plan of Action on Energy Cooperation. Right? So those are really ambitious goals, and it's important that we work together to build up the capacity within the private sector, within the people sector, within the public sector, so as to enable this transition so that it's a just and fair one as well, creating opportunities for all, enabling everyone to level up and to participate in this energy transition. I think the very last panel we heard about the importance of innovation and how it can help transform the energy sector. It's the ideas, the openness to new ways of doing things that will really make a difference in this journey that we face here. So once again, thank you to one and all for coming today to participate in this session. I think this has been a very interesting session, many ideas that have really raised the level of discussion that we've had at today's forum, as well as the Singapore International Energy Week. I really thank IRENA for the close collaboration that we've had between the EMA and IRENA on this forum. And I really thank IRENA as well for all the guidance and the support that has been provided while we were designing and bringing together such a illustrious group of speakers for today's session. So once again, thank you all. I would like to hand this time over to Deputy Director General Gauri Singh to close the session. Thank you very much.
Excellency Ngiam Shi Chun, all our distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say that this was truly a very momentous afternoon where we heard speakers, we heard panelists which joined us virtually and in person. And I think the level of discussions was such that it really got all of us to put on our thinking hats about how we're really moving ahead with this energy transition. And I have to congratulate the excellent collaboration we've had with EMA, because we've been able to bring speakers from the region to share their thoughts and the insights, which have really showed us the direction in which this region is moving. We had, from our initial addresses that we had from the Minister of Singapore and from the Minister of Indonesia, clearly gave a very strong signal of the intent that governments have to really make a very strong move towards changing the energy mix and being an active participant in the energy transition. This level of openness that was displayed in terms of listening to industry, listening to the stakeholders, and to be able to address the concerns through the right policy and regulatory frameworks that are really needed to bring in the investments, I think that's really what will set the tone and the pace of how soon the region actually moves ahead with its energy transition and climate action agenda. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Minister Tan See Leng for his very strong leadership and to be able to really support the IRENA Singapore partnership. I don't think there could have been a better place for us to have come together like this, to have discussions at this level. And I also would like to thank Excellency Ngyam Shee-chun and his very supportive team at the EMA for having collaborated with us and hosted this forum along with us at IRENA. And I think, it's this very close collaboration that allowed us to bring in the level of speakers and really have a representation of the very varied stakeholders from the region, which added to the richness of the discussions that took place here. I sincerely hope that it was energizing and inspiring for all of us who are listening in person and also who have tuned in virtually for this panel. And I very much look forward to our continued engagement. And we hope to see you at the Singapore International Energy Week next year also. Thank you very much.
Ms. Gauri Singh, Mr. Ngyam, thank you both for your closing statements right here today. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the Singapore-IRENA High-Level Forum. We would like to thank all of our distinguished ministers and industry CEOs for your support, and all of you right here, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Now, on behalf of the Energy Market Authority of Singapore, we would like to thank you all for joining us here. And for those of you watching online from all over the world, thank you as well for being here and tuning in. Thank you all. Let's end this session for the day with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great day indeed. Thank you.